Welcome back to Satisfactory. My name is Nilaus, and we are back here with our boring, great, awesome, effective main boss base. I think that the boss part is the least interesting part about it. The main part is the modularity of the build, and I absolutely love this modularity. It just gives me so much flexibility. It is solving the hardest problem in Satisfactory, and the hardest problem is the scaling up of existing builds because that's just so difficult. It just takes so long because you have to place everything manually, and once you've designed a big build, then, well, what are you going to do to... how are you going to be scaling it up? It's one of the big problems. So I am building it here collectively here, and I think this is, after 1500 hours, this is by far the best base, by far. I mean, I really couldn't imagine not building modular next time with blueprints if there's going to be a next time. There might not be, because I just feel that I have solved this game to the point where I don't know why I would want to do it any other way. But what we're going to do today is we are going to challenge ourselves, and we are going to be climbing the tech ladder up to supercomputers. And what will happen as we get to supercomputers is that we'll start draining the resources faster than we can put them in. And that means we're going to be running out of stuff. And that means that next time we'll be taking a look at the stuff that is not there, and then sort of looking at how we're going to be supplementing in. And it's probably going to be plastic, rubber, and or caterium that we'll run out of first. So we are going to build in this space, and I will also start by giving a pro tip to any prospective content creators out there. If you want to record content, it is very important to press the record button. So this is actually the second time I record this, because the first time I just sat here chatting to myself for about an hour's worth of time, and then realized that I had not pressed the record button. So hopefully the second time around will be better. What we're going to do this time around, but it also means that I have actually prepared this, and it means we can go through it in a little bit of a smoother operation, I hope. Now I do always prepare before these episodes, and when we are going to be doing it today is looking at, as I said, the supercomputers, and we are going to be providing some cool new designs. And if you want those designs, they are available to Patreon supporters, or if you don't, not a Patreon supporter, if you don't want to support, can't afford it or whatever, then that's why we are also just designing it here on screen together, so that you can do it yourself or make whatever changes and amendments you want to do to your own base. One of the things that I really want to emphasize with this base is that, yes, this is a boring looking base, and I really like it because it's square, efficient, and stringent and consistent and all that stuff. But I understand that you find it boring maybe, and if you do, that's perfectly fine. But you can still use the blueprints and make a cool looking base around it, and just know that you have the internal workings are provided by me. Cool. So let's start looking at recipes. We're going to be looking at supercomputer recipe. I have had to wait a bit of time to get all the different alternate recipes, and now I'm going to also have emphasize the ones that I would recommend. This OC supercomputer is by far the best. That is my claim. It's the best because of not sort of the recipes and things, but because of SOMERSLOOPS. This is made in an assembler. With a SOMERSLOOP, you only pay 2 SOMERSLOOPs to upgrade an assembler. This is also the fastest of the builds. That means that if you, for 2 SOMERSLOOPs, you get 3 per minute. That's a pretty damn good yield. So we are actually starting to look at SOMERSLOOP optimization as a parameter, because at the end of the game, you want to make your free supercomputers. Oh yes, very much so. So that's what we're going to be focusing on, and this is the recipe. So we need cooling systems, we need radio control units. Let's look at radio control units. There are 3 different recipes, and I want to take the last one, the radio control system. The reason why is because this is, I think it's cheaper. It also is the fastest, and because it's the fastest, that again means that if I put 4 SOMERSLOOPs into this manufacturer, then I get another 4.5 per minute output. That is pretty good. That is very, very efficient. So we definitely want to do that. Back to this one. This part, there are 2 different builds. I actually really want this one. The reason why, even though the other one is a little bit faster, I don't want to deal with water. Gas is nitrogen gas is the gas, so we don't need to pumps. But the pain in the ass of managing pumps to get the water in here, yucky. So I'm going to do this one, and that means we need to make a heatsink build. So we now have the 4 builds that we're going to do today: heatsink, cooling system, radio control system, and supercomputers. Cool. Here I want to use this recipe. I just think it's a little bit better. This is very heavy on the copper. There's also an argument why this could work, but I think I'm gonna do with this one to to start draining some of our rubber build, because I really want to emphasize that, or sort of get myself into a position where next episode I'm going to be focusing on rubber and plastic. So straining this one a little bit, I think they're about equally good depending on what you have the most of. So we're going to start with this exchanger. This is an aluminum casing, and this is consuming, if we click out here, this is consuming only 30. So this recipe here is producing at 60. So we can take one aluminum casing build as a constructor for 2 assemblers. So let's try to do that. That means down here, I am going to get you right smack in the middle. And then we're going to get these on the other side. They will be rotated the other way. And is that in the middle? This one can't be placed exactly in the middle. And there. Good. And then we just get some inputs and outputs. Or here. That will be a splitter. I think I'll build it like this. And I'm going to get belts in here as Mark 3s. That does not look good. We definitely want straight belts. There we go. And then we get some inputs here, or that was inputs, and this is an output, and this is an output, and this will then be an input, and I'm just gonna make it on the same line because that looks nice. 2, 3. That is inbound here and inbound here. It's a little click sound. Yeah. We're gonna reverse it. What? That doesn't seem comfortable. There we go. That's beautiful. There. And there. Alright. So this is basically 2 inbounds and 1 outbound. That's something we have definitely done before. So no reason to spend too much time on the ins and outs of this. There we go. I know I'm building it a little bit quick because we do have a lot of things we want to get through on this episode. And there are some things that once we've seen it before, then we've seen how to do the ins and outs once before. Here we go. So this is 20 heat sinks, and it needs 60 rubber and 90 aluminum ingots. So that's ready to put in. We're going to be clearing this out because otherwise I can't delete it. And this will be exactly here. I'm using these big billboards. I was considering putting them into the blueprint, but I don't think that's super advantageous. You can do that yourself if you want to, but I think that it doesn't really add anything, and it just makes it a lot more expensive. And we need the heat sinks that we just designed, and I want to make sure that this sign is facing towards us, and it is going in. So we do all of the connections. We start with power. Oh, okay, there. Whoa, that's weird. There you go. What? Like that works, but 0 doesn't work. 1, 2, 3. Oh, my hotkeys don't work. A quick reload, and let's see if it works now. Yes, it does. So, there we go. There are a surprising amount of bugs in this game, in my opinion. Considering this is a release version that's been in early access for 5 years. So I think there are quite significant amount of bugs, and also new and exotic bugs that have been added in 1.0. So there we go, we get the 2 items inbound, we get our ingots inbound. Ooh, they're just jittery a little bit there, and we have our rubber coming in, and that should be going straight in there. And well, you know what, I am just gonna be saying it right now. We do need 2 of these. There is no way that we're not going to be needing 2 of these builds. So let's get it in here. And that doesn't look like the right place. Nope, it does not. There. And then we just connect it again. Here, and here, and here. Good. And the belts can carry all of this, so that is not a problem. So that means we now have 40 of these built, and I'm going to be moving the board up here. The board. There. And it's done. So this will also need to be put out on the bus because we're going to need it for the next one. There we go. So that's going to come out and hopefully come out and fill up. Let's see. Yeah. We got a little bit coming out. Great. Next one is up is the cooling system. So I've already planned out what I want to build where. And I'm going to be building this here. And we're going to start, as we've done so many times before, by going over, taking our template factory and figuring out what this is going to be like. So the cooling system is a Blender recipe because it has... Now I lost my Q button. Just do that. And then it should work again. Yes. Blender recipe. And I'm going to do it this way. And then I'm going to place it right in the middle. Is that in the middle? Now it's in the middle. Perfect. So this is a little bit too big to place two of them in one factory. I could use the 5x5 and make it next to each other, but actually I like this because we're not actually going to have too many of these builds in my humble opinion. Why we're not going to make it? Well, because this is a thing. Then I can get 20 from one machine, and that's very much worth it. This will cost 750, I think, somewhere around that, or even to this point. Then I can make 25 cooling systems per minute from one machine. Are we gonna do it? Yeah, maybe. There. Why does that not work? Control click it. I have to drag it out. That can't be right. There. We'll do this one. So to get the cooling. So this one requires heat sinks. We got it. Motor, we got it on the bus, and nitrogen gas. We need to bring that in, but it should be pretty damn simple to get stuff inbound. And I am going to do this way. And I could build it here, but I prefer to build it here. And the reason why I want to build it there is because that is the part where it fits for this one. And then I go back here, and I go 1, 2, 3. Inbound, inbound, and then we have an outbound on this side. It's only a solid inbound, outbound, so that should be pretty simple. 1, 2, 3, and reverse it, and it's connected. So that is liquid is the only one that's kind of different from what we've done before. So I think I want to just build it on here. And is that aligned? Yes, it is. So it goes from here and up. It goes from here and out to this side and onto this side. I'm not going to put pumps in, but I think no, it doesn't need pumps because it's gas. Lovely. What I will need to do though is to go in here. This swatch is my swatch for the nitrogen. That's the official nitrogen colored gas. So I'm going to go in and go up to the custom swatch, set it like that. Use the custom swatch to paint these so that your blueprint will have this color even if you don't have the same swatches as I do. There we go. So you get the nice gray color for this as well. And then we just set up the rest. There we go. This is officially making 5 per minute, but we know we can scale it up as we need, and we definitely will. So let's clear the planner once it's saved. I hope it was. And then we build our starter module. Blueprints, generics, starter module. I like the starter module. I think there are definitely some things about it I could maybe do a little bit of optimization on, but yeah, I think it's fine. And there we go. That's going to rotate. And that one. I don't think I want more than one of these modules because we can scale it up to 25, and I'd rather scale this one up to 25. So only when we need more than 25 do we think we want to actually get a second module in here. And this one's going out. Then I'm going to get the 2 inbounds here. That one. And is there a difference between whether they're up or down? No, they're just going straight in. The heat sinks and the motors. And that goes that one. And now we come to the next one. And I'll need to get this in here. So I'll need to bring it in from the bottom here. But first we have to look at where we get it from. And we actually have it right here. So this is claimed, it's sent out, and it's going to go below. So if we go below here and take a look, this is one of those things where I just prepare things. And there we go, it's coming in. It's also nice and gray colored. And I just lead it up to this location. I'm going to get my swatch. I'm actually going to use this swatch. There. And close off the loop. And that means this one is already coming in. Oh, I love the fact that the flow rates just work. Why is it not working? Oh, it is working. Let's smash some of these in. And let's also do that. That's 20 cooling systems. You know what? Why not just go all out on this? It will just... This is not going to be a problem. Heat sinks might be a problem if I'm using 25 heat sinks. But we are producing 40 heat sinks, so not a big deal. But it uses 1000 megawatt. Yeah, that's kind of expensive. It is the most expensive machine we have access to, and it uses more than 1000 megawatts. So is that a problem? Not really. We still have 62 out here, so not really a big deal. I love the fact that we can just have one. This would really be detrimental before, but now we can finally start using the power shards and this part here actively, because power is not so tedious to set up, thanks to the module we did last time. I am also going to put the dashboard or billboard up here. That is going to be a lot of help to get looking at it from a distance. Good. So that is now onwards to the radio control units. So one little thing here, just one machine is making 25. I think that's amazing. It's also kind of like, do we really need like giant builds for this? One that's working overtime is probably a lot more efficient because it saves on the usage of the SOMERSLOOPS. And SOMERSLOOPS is the most limiting resource. I got about 50 or something, so I got half of what we have on the map. But that's still something I need to consider where I want to build it. And of course, I want to use it for the most expensive builds, and I want to use it for the tier 9 stuff and for the unlocking tier 9 as well. Right. So we are going to be looking at the final or the second final build here. This is the radio control thing here, this one, and we're going to use this, which has 4 items. One of them is crafted, the other 3 are coming on the belt, and this is coming in at 90, so we actually want this to be 2 assemblers. So let's go in here, get a manufacturer, and we should kind of get it, just push it. I don't know if it's going to be as far as it can over there, but that's probably fine. There, let's put it like this. And then we're going to go for some inputs here. Does that look like a good location? I need to have a merger right on that side. Let's go one further back. Yes, and on the other side it's going to be the same, like that. And then we're going to go here. And this will be a Mark III belt. Like that. And this will be aluminium casing. Now be mindful that if you scale up, there. If you scale up this one with the radio control system, if you scale it up with here, then you obviously also... I don't get why I can't take them out manually. I feel like I used to be able to shift click them out of the inventory, or control click or alt click or something. Now I have to just drag them out. That seems like a new thing and not an improvement. Right. Yeah, so if you do power shards here, you also have to do the power shards equivalent down here. So be mindful of that. And the other thing we need to do is input, input, and input. They are just coming straight from the belt or from the bus. That's easy. But it does have a little bit of more requirement here. So what we can do is we're going to get this inbound, and that will go out to... Yeah. This will be a little bit more demanding than usual. Oh, should have... Ooh. That one, and then reverse it. Inbound. Inbound. In. And we forgot the outbound here. Yeah. Right, so this one. Yeah. And this one. They will now be going on the lower belt here. And we're going to get one of these on here and the other one return. And that means I need 2 more. And I think those 2 more have to be maybe like this. Looks about right. Let's try to set that up. So here it is with 4.5 officially as the output, but we're definitely going to SOMERSLOOP that so it gets to at least 9, and maybe we'll even scale it up. We will. You're also seeing here is that it's actually 135 inputs for aluminum ingots, which means that if I only use the Mark III belt for the aluminum ingots inbound, then I could only have 2 modules, or I could have 1 module at double capacity. So I've upgraded the middle transport belt here, the branch belt, to a Mark V, so that we can at least get 600 in. That should be more than enough. And we got the other ones, they are not in high quantity at all, so that should not be a problem. That's the final build. We will then disable it. You can see here, I also always say what I have built here. And have I mentioned, those blueprints are of course available to patron supporters, but so if you want to get access to them, then that's available to patron supporters. And thank you very much everyone who is choosing support, whether you choose to support because you want access to blueprints, or you choose to support because you choose to support the work I do here. Either way, I'm very much happy about it, and thank you very much for that ongoing support. And that's gonna be it, right? There we go. And I will then hook this up to power, hook it up to power, hook it up to outbound belt, and then we get the input belt, and they are going to be a little bit crowded here. So this is the aluminum ingots, that is the Mark V belt coming in, and that is really important that it goes into the right one. The other ones are just coming in at slower pace, which is perfectly fine. That one is the oscillator, comes up. Here we got the circuits. That goes up like this, and then we got the rubber, and can I even do that? Oh yeah, sure. Oh, that looks nice. I like this. This could also be a, yeah, it could, instead of a ramp, it could be a lift, but you know, I like this. This looks nice. Looks very nice actually. And we get in here, but oh no, there's no way we're not gonna do this. And let's be honest, let's at least get it to like this. Then it's 18. Ah, screw it. We're greedy. We're greedy. We want to do that. And let's see what it goes up to. And not as much as the 1000 here. But what we need to say is that it needs 225. So 225 divided by 2, that is 112.5. So this one has to be building a little bit in here, and then it's going to be 112.5 there. There we go. And then I copy and I paste there. And the belt can keep up with all of this, and then we should be able to keep up with this one as well. That gets us 22.5 and a modest 738.7 megawatt of power. Again, checking the power. I mean, we can't keep doing this, but I mean, I could barely see it move here. I could barely see it move. All right, well, that means now we have, how much was this? 22.5 radio control units, and over here we have 25 cooling systems. Brilliant, brilliant. Let's make sure that these actually go back on the bus. Oops, forgot that. Because we're going to need it for the OC computers that we are going to need out. Look at that. How much have been accumulated in the meantime? Well, there's a significant amount. Plus, this one has filled up our depot, so there's 600 stored here. And then anything now gets out on the belt. Sweet. All right, let's build the last one of today, which is going to be a little bit of a question mark. Let's do that with a blueprint planner first. That's always a good place to start. Let's get it here. And get this one and reload the standard build, the standard template. There we go. Now, if we think about it, we need an assembler. So that's fine. And if we look at what it's going to be making, it's the OC supercomputers. There is no way we're not going to do this. All right. So let's just get that out of the way. That's definitely happening. But one of these consumes 6 plus 6. That means I have 2 options. I'm obviously, since I'm producing more, I've designed it so that I can consume 18 of this, or I could do something like this part here, which would now consume 15. That I like. Plus I do that, then I'm actually producing 15 outbound per minute. That's pretty juicy to be able to produce 15 supercomputers from one building. And then the thing is, like, building a single building in here, so it just seems so silly. This seems silly, right? So what I am going to do, let me just get these out. Oh, it actually, the shift clicking worked. Ah, no, now shift clicking. Wow, don't even get me started. What I'm going to do is I'm going to load up the motor build, because that is exactly what we needed here. There we go. That is the design for 3 assemblers next to each other. And I am going to take the OC supercomputer here. I'm not scaling it up. So now we have the choice if I could do this and then just put 2 in here, but then I do 2, 4, 6. That's too much. So what I'm going to leave it without for the blueprint, but I don't want to build it like this when I actually stamp it in. So let's update the blueprint so we can get this. This will be super, and that will be just a modest 9 of these. There. And then upgrade the other ones, but this is not the one we were going to stamp, or when we stamp it down, we're going to do a little bit of changes. So we start as we always do with our starter build. That goes here. And I'm going to remember to put the billboard up here, because then otherwise if I don't do it now, I'll forget it. Yeah, so that's now up here. Okay, and we now build our new supercomputer build that we've made. Where might you be at? There, top one. There. It is like way too big, but have a plan. That goes in here, and from that one to here. So now it's powered. Then we want to get stuff inbound. What I'll do is I will turn this off, and I will turn this off. Really wish they would have a different than yellow. They should have a different color when they're turned off. Maybe red, maybe white, maybe something. I don't know. Just not yellow. Then this one, I will scale up and put this in. Whoosh. That gets me 15 supercomputers at the cost of 15 radio controllers. Yeah, okay, because it was 2-to-1 and now it's a 1-to-1 because of the SOMERSLOOPS. Cool. All right, we got some stuff on the belt here. Great. And these are just simply coming in right there. And the second one is coming in. And let's loop it here and then go up. All right. That gets me... Now, obviously, if we look at it, there will be something left on the belt here. And that will also be lifted up there, lifted up here, which will be just getting stuck. The cooling units are also going to be lifted up and then getting stuck. But it's still... It'll then still come in here. Now, can it support 15? Yes and no. I'm making 22.5, but we're also seeing that I still need to feed my depot. Let's have a look at how many we already put in. Oh, 165, 56. So until this one gets to 250, we saw we just got some more, 250, then we're not going to get enough on the bus to keep this saturated. But even if it's not saturated, like, let's be honest, this 15 supercomputers is pretty damn nice to get this. And there we go. They're just rolling on the lines. And let's get that up here. There we go. We saw a little blink, and then we look at our inventory to see what our supercomputer situation. 34. We also picked some of those up out in the world as we were exploring. But look at that. It's just trickling in. That is pretty damn nice to have 15 supercomputers and still be able to have excess radio controllers and excess cooling system and excess heat sinks. But the question is, down the line, are we now drawing so much inbound from our increased use of stuff like motors, stuff like over here, circuit boards, rubber, crystal oscillators, that we just can't support it anymore and they will just gradually start emptying? That is a question for next time. And then next time we'll be starting to fill in bottlenecks and figure out ways to supplement the bus sort of midway when we see that it doesn't have sufficient throughput to keep up. So with that, that was 4 new awesome builds for the late stages of Tier 8. We will of course continue. There's still turbo motors, fuse frames, pressure cube and nuclear pasta. And after that, we are going to unlock top right hand corner, the complete phase 4, and then it's into phase 9. But along the way, we'll probably have to do like a cool plastic and rubber module build and maybe something else as well. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it. I will be streaming this regularly on Twitch TV/Nilaus at 8 p.m. Central European time. So check out my schedule on Discord to see when the next one is available. and I'll be continuing this series as long as there is an interest. So if there is an interest, be sure to hit the like button, comment below, and subscribe to the channel, and you know the drill. And of course the blueprints, if you want all these glorious blueprints available to you in your base, then that's available to patrons. So thank you very much for watching. Until next time, take care and stay effective.